Well, welcome to the 2025 Langston Hughes Festival at the City College of New York. Thank you for being here. We are honored to bestow this year's medal on New York Times best-selling author and World of Wakanda author Roxane Gay. So thank you. I'm Jervette Ward, chair of the newly reestablished Black Studies Department here at CCU. For those of you who were here last year, you heard us saying the forthcoming Black Studies Department. We can now say the Black Studies Department, reestablished here, and we are privileged to lead the Langston Hughes Festival. In 1925, a literary, musical, artistic, cultural, and unapologetically Black movement solidified in Harlem. And 100 years later, we are gathered to commemorate and celebrate the Harlem Renaissance and one of its greatest and most prolific scholars, Langston Hughes, during our annual Langston Hughes Festival. The Langston Hughes Festival celebrates and expands upon the literary legacy of the poet laureate of Harlem, James Langston Hughes. And we award the Langston Hughes Medal to the most distinguished writers associated with the African diaspora. And you can find the complete list of the past recipients, including the inaugural recipient, James Baldwin, in your digital program. We're going green this year, guys, the digital program. And on the festival website, which is also listed on the screen behind me. In 2025, we are honored to bestow the Langston Hughes Festival Medal upon New York Times bestselling author Roxane Gay. And we are thrilled that she will be joined in dialogue tonight with the 2011 Langston Hughes Festival Medal honoree, Dr. Edwidge Danticat, as well. Earlier today in this space, we held the first event of the festival, the Student Symposium, which was a vibrant and interdisciplinary space where our CCNY students explored the resonances between Hughes's and Gay's writing. They were led by Drs. Lori Woodard and Kadon Willis, and it was a brilliant display of the intellect of our CCNY students. And they did a phenomenal job of honoring this year's festival theme of Black love, which is fitting, as today is what day? Does anyone know what today is? Today is not Valentine's Day. Did you celebrate with your boo today? No, it's tomorrow. What's today? Black Love Day. Thank you. Today is National Black Love Day. And tomorrow is Valentine's Day. So if you haven't gotten anything for your boo thing, your significant other, you still got time. Hey, you got time. And if you really want to do some good, I'm going to take a moment here. You can come to our Valentine's Day fundraising breakfast with your boo thing tomorrow morning. Tickets are still on sale, and you can do good for the culture and your boo at the same time, all right? We got you. It's also in the digital program, so please look for the QR code there. But we are honoring Black Love, Valentine's Day, and the Haitian experience as we connect Hughes, who traveled, of course, to Haiti and studied and wrote about it, with Gay and Danticat, and our musical guest, Pauline Jean. And we're doing all of this, of course, during the 100th anniversary of the Harlem Renaissance, 1925-2025. So we have a whole lot to celebrate today, and we thank you for joining with us. Now for some housekeeping. As I've already mentioned, we are going green and digital this year. We're going green and we're saving some money. So thank you for your support as we've done that. Hopefully you scanned the QR code that was at check-in, and it's scattered around the space, and we have some people who can bring you the little QR code thing right here. If anyone needs it, I will pass it over to Dr. LaShawn and pass it around. In case anyone did not scan it, we have it there for you. And of course, you can find it on the festival website. So, without further ado, I am honored to bring before you two more people who will bring you some brief greetings on behalf of CCNY and the entire CUNY system. I am honored to bring forth our provost, Tony Liss, who has been a steadfast supporter of Black Studies and the Langston Hughes Festival.
Thank you, Javette. I don't think I'm allowed to give greetings on behalf of all of CUNY, so this is just from CCNY. So I do want to welcome you to our historic Harlem campus that we are very, very proud of. So welcome to City College. This is, I say this every year because every year it's true, this is one of my absolute favorite events on campus. I was going to give you the actual ranking, but I get in trouble with other events, so I just want you to know it's very, very high up there. I love this event. We hear every year from amazing authors who write poetry, criticism, fiction, nonfiction, but always connecting to Langston Hughes through the stories of the Black experience. This year's no exception as we welcome the amazing Roxane Gay. This festival is always a reminder of the importance of telling stories. I didn't realize I was going to be saying this in front of this quote, which says it better than anything I'm going to say. So just read that, don't listen to me. So we start telling stories when our children are very young. It's the first thing you do with a new child is to start telling them stories and telling them stories to teach them about the world around them, to teach them the kind of person you hope they'll grow into being. It's how children learn. It's how they learn about the world around them. And we should never stop learning. And telling stories is an essential part of that. We should always continue to read and listen and watch stories. So at this particular moment, when our elected government is actively trying to erase these stories, it's especially important that we continue to tell them. That's what it says up there. We continue to read them. We continue to read them to our children. Stories are how we gain an understanding of the human experience and how we develop empathy for other people's experiences. They're an essential part of what we do at this college as educators. Today, the highly qualified nominee to lead the Department of Education said that she didn't know if colleges and universities would be allowed to teach Black history. Let that sink in for a moment. There's a moment when, there's been so much talk about closing the Department of Education, and when she said that, I thought maybe that's not such a bad idea. So if you doubted that they wanted to erase the stories that this festival celebrates, there you go. But I'm happy to say that at City College, we have a brand new Black Studies department, as you heard from Chair. And we will not stop teaching our students what they need to learn, what all students should be learning. So on this campus, we will teach what we think it's important to teach. If you have any doubt about the importance of storytelling, there's a reason that they're working so hard to silence them. They will not be silenced on this campus. We will continue to invite, to listen to, and to celebrate the essential voices of our time who remind us every day of what we can learn from stories. I'm thrilled that we're continuing the legacy of the Langston Hughes Festival and of Langston Hughes himself this year with the essential voice of Dr. Roxane Gay. Welcome to the festival.
Thank you, Provost Liss. Next, we will have the Dean of Humanities and Arts, Renata Miller. Thank you.
Good evening and welcome to our celebration. In a country and a world that is lately baffling and exhausting, as Provost Liss detailed, we nevertheless at City College have much to celebrate. We're here to celebrate the legacy of Langston Hughes, Poet Laureate of the Harlem Renaissance, and more broadly, the artistic movement that he represents. We celebrate the literature of the African diaspora. We celebrate our medalist, Roxane Gay, scholar, novelist, essayist, and memoirist. We celebrate our students, and I think many of you were here at midday today to see a panel of our students engaging with Harlem, with Haiti, and with the Harlem Renaissance, and with the works of our honoree through a variety of media. And I hope that if you were able to make it today, that you took some inspiration from the remarkable accomplishments and talents of our students at City College. And we celebrate our new Department of Black Studies. We've already been saying a lot about that this evening, but I want to recognize the heroic efforts of Professor Gervette Ward, who is the new chair of the Department of Black Studies. And I also want to recognize the founding faculty members in Black Studies. I think they're all here tonight. So they are Professors Emily Roboteau. I saw Emily coming in earlier. Here tonight. Professor Lori Woodward and Professor Emmanuel Lachaud. And I want to recognize them because institutions are hard to change, and these are 4 faculty members who could have remained in the departments where they were happily settled, but they chose to take a stand for creating new knowledge that they believe in, and the possibilities that they have opened up for us will change this institution. So I'm enormously grateful for their work and for all of the fellow co-travelers with Black Studies along the way, because I'm seeing many people from other departments who are also supportive of the work of this new department. I also want to acknowledge a faculty member in the English department who recently announced his retirement from City College, Professor Gordon Thompson. Gordon shared with me his experiences of having been an undergraduate at City College when James Baldwin was given the Langston Hughes Medal. And he shared with me how he carried that with him through getting a PhD at Yale and then returning to City College as a faculty member. And it was the spirit of seeing James Baldwin receive the Langston Hughes Festival that motivated so much of his work at City College over the decades. He served as director of Black Studies for many years and director of the Langston Hughes Festival for several years. And so I want to acknowledge his contributions as an important link in the history of Black Studies at City College. And I also want to thank a great supporter of humanities and the arts at City College, Barbara Rifkind, of the Winston Foundation, for supporting our Rifkind Center for Humanities and the Arts. They support this festival as well as many activities in our intellectual life in humanities and the arts at City College, and important public programming that we do in humanities and the arts. So as you can see, at City College, we have much to celebrate. And I thank you for being here with us tonight for this celebration. I hope the evening leaves you inspired and sustained for the years to come. Thank you.
Thank you so much to our dean and our provost for their support and also for showing up. We appreciate you for being here. Thank you so much. I have the distinct honor of introducing our musical guest, our performer for tonight, Ms. Pauline Jean. And I know that you have a program in front of you that has her bio and everything there, but I heard we're talking about stories tonight. So I'm going to just tell you a quick little story that I just heard from both our recipient and Miss Pauline Jean as well. Apparently, the very last show that you did right before COVID shut us down, you had a special guest in the audience, someone who's a fan of your music as well, who happens to be our recipient tonight, Roxane Gay. And so I know that you will and enjoy this performance because Roxane has already approved it and said that you're gonna honor and enjoy this performance. So I welcome to the stage Miss Pauline Jean.
Good evening, everyone. So good to be with you all. Thank you so much. Beautiful people, tonight we celebrate Black love in all its forms. Love for our community, for each other, and most importantly, for ourselves. Self-love is the foundation of it all. It's about honoring the divine within and embracing our unique beauty, strength, and magic. So the first song is written by Justin Brim. It's an affirmation of self-love. A reminder to be kind to ourselves, especially in times like these. And to know we are worthy. So let this message inspire you all, especially, this is like an affirmation for the little ones, but it's also for the young at heart. And we have to carry these affirmations every day. All right? I love myself, I love my skin, I love my hair, my melanin. And when I lose, I'll always win. I never quit, just try again. I love myself, I love my skin, I love my hair, my melanin. Even when I lose, I'm born to win. I never quit, just try again. When I look in the mirror, what do I see? I can be anything I wanna be. When I look in the mirror, what do I see? I can be anything I wanna be. I am strong, smart, I'm nice, I use my heart, I believe in myself, I don't play. So I say this in the mirror every day. I am strong, I'm smart, I'm nice, I use my heart, I believe in myself, I don't play. So I say this in the mirror every day. I love myself, my skin, my hair, my melanin. Even when I lose, I'm born to win. I never quit, just try again. I love myself, my skin, my hair, my melanin. Even when I lose, I'm born to win. I never quit, just try again. I love myself. I love myself. Yes. I love myself. Oh yes. I love myself. Love myself, my skin, my hair, my melanin. And when I lose, I'm born to win. I never quit, just try again. Love myself, my skin, my hair, my melanin. And when I lose, I'm born to win. I love myself. It's about Black love. This is National Black Love, and it's National Black Love 365, y'all. So this next performance is blending two classic songs. It's blending Moody's Mood for Love and I'm in the Mood for Love, and I also have a love for culture, and I added some Creole, Haitian Creole lyrics to this song, and it's honoring my heritage and showing that love speaks in every language. So I hope this resonates with you. And by the way, everybody, please give it up for Edwidge Danticat. Belle ti chérie, ou c'est ce monde qui touche qu'à moi. Là où vini bon côté pour faire sentir, moi pas qu'à expliquer. Ou bon mon sourire, mais ou l'oubli, moi dans moi. C'est musique qui entoure, musique qui fait moi vini, vini, vers moi d'amour. Mettez pour ça, vous avec le chou. Des petits bagages, vous faites de mon côté. Est-ce que moi vous, les moi gardez vous, ouais, ciel là. Ciel là, clairé comme étoile, qui dans ciel là, clairé comme ciel, mais ça, je me pense donc, pas qu'à vivre la vie sans vous, vini chérie, pas belle tout. Moi, quoi c'est peut-être ça? Moi, senti non, folie d'amour. La ya, folie d'amour. Folie d'amour. I'm in the mood for love, simply because you're near me. Funny, but when you're near me, I'm in the mood for love. Heaven is in your eyes, bright as the stars we're under. Oh, is it any wonder that I'm in the mood for love? I'm in the mood for love. So fast, you're near me. Funny, but when you're near me, I'm in the mood for love, love, love. I'm in the mood, baby, you got me in the mood for love, love, for love. Why was it for? For love, yeah, baby, you got me for love, for love, for love, for love. Thank you. close with this one. You know, it's Langston Hughes. We're celebrating the festival of Langston Hughes, and we're honoring the extraordinary Dr. Roxane Gay. Yes, everybody here. Oh, this is Black Excellence here. Well, Langston Hughes had a song that says, "Love Song for Lucinda." And for some reason, as I was looking at it, I saw elements of the blues. So, I'm gonna close this off with Langston Hughes' poem called "Love Song for Lucinda." And it goes a little something like this. Love is a ripe plum growing on a purple tree. Love is a ripe plum growing on a purple tree. Taste it once, you'll be under its spell. We'll never let you be. Love is a bright star glowing in far southern skies. I said, love is a bright star glowing in far southern skies. You look too hard, and its burning flame will always hurt your eyes. Love is a high mountain, stark in a windy sky, windy sky. Love is a high mountain, stark in a windy sky. If you would never lose your breath, do not fly too high. Eddie, can you tell us a little bit about love? Is a ripe plum glowing on a purple tree. Taste it once. The spell leaves your enchantment. Will never let you be. Love got you going. Bit but it is a what it would it be but we but we would be Zabo it did be would we bit be but love, say love, 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 L-O-V-E. It's all about love. Right now we're making history. Love. Thank you, everyone. It's a bright star. Blessings. Thank you. And usually everyone.
Thank you so much for that wonderful music. musical rendition of Hughes and a celebration of love. As we continue to celebrate love, I am going to welcome someone up here who I very much love and appreciate because she chose to stand with the Black Studies Department and to move her line to help establish this department and to do the work that we are doing now here at CCNY. And so to do the introduction of our recipient, Roxane Gay, we have Miss Emily Rabateau.
Hi, Roxane. I'm so glad you're here. It's very special to have you as somebody who means a lot to so many people. Roxane is the author of so many works of fiction, nonfiction. She also writes op-eds. It was very important to us as we talked as a department and as folks who have worked on the Langston Hughes Festival for many years, to think about the context of the history of this award, which has been given to so many amazing Black writers, including Edwidge Danticat in 2011, who's here to be in conversation with Roxane tonight, including James Baldwin, it was mentioned, was the inaugural winner of this award, including, in my time here, Colson Whitehead, Zadie Smith, who else? So many. But Roxane is, I think, special in the pantheon of authors who've won this award because she has a special meaning in the wider culture. This is something that was true of Langston Hughes as well, and I think the impulse toward criticism, writing about feminism for a popular audience, writing about issues of sexual violence, writing about being gay, writing about what it is to be in an unruly body. I love that word in the context of your work. We wanted to invite somebody who everybody had read, whose name everybody knew, not just somebody, as my colleague Dr. Ward has said, has the imprimatur of the white establishment, although I know you have that too, but who has special meaning to the wider culture. I remember being at an event with Roxane Gay many years ago. Somebody had in the audience a sign, which is a little weird at like a literary reading that you'd see in a rally, for example, that said, Roxane Gay for president. And I don't know if you remember that, Roxane. I think it was like an AWP conference. It's like a writing conference. But what I mean to say is this is a writer who has inspired a degree of devotion and trust in the popular culture in a way that's unusual. I just want to make a connection between that sort of unusual degree of trust, devotion, adoration, and appreciation with Langston Hughes, since this is a part of his festival as well. That to have another writer who wrote in so many genres, who crossed a lot of borders in terms of his identity, and who continues having resonance for us here in Harlem. It makes it very special to draw a line between his work and your work, Roxane. We're very delighted to have you as our, what's the number, winner? 46th? Really, recipient of this special award that we're able to confer at this college. Thank you for coming. Thank you, Edwidge, for being in conversation. This is something new as well. I don't know that we've had a past recipient be the interlocutor of the current recipient. You're both so special in your own unique ways, and we're really grateful to have you here.
Thank you so much, Emily. It's a real pleasure to be introduced by you. We've known each other for many, many years, and I've long admired everything that you do in the world, and especially the ways in which you are bringing to the forefront the immediacy of the climate crisis and how we have to respond now and not later. It's a pleasure to be here. It's an honor to be here tonight to receive this honor in the name of a luminary like Langston Hughes. It might interest you to know that Hughes visited Haiti, where my family is from, once during his lifetime. The year was 1931, the Harlem Renaissance had ended, and he was searching. He was searching for solidarity, he was searching for comrades, and he understood that he was going to have to go beyond America's borders. And so he did. And what he found was that he had quite a lot in common with Haitians, and in his poem, Broadcast to the West Indies, he wrote, "They have no love for you or any colored people anywhere. That's also partly true. There are people here who still place greed and power above the needs of this most crucial hour. Just as with you there are those who place imperial will above the needs of men, but here, as there, their day will end." It was prophetic in many ways that he would assume that their day would end, and we kind of have to hope the same. But if you've been watching the news over the past year, it's hard to dismiss the reality that we are dealing with a very different world than the one I think most of us hoped for. And as I read Langston Hughes again in preparation for tonight, I was reminded of what we have in common now more than ever as we contend with what is a horrifying political climate. When my brothers and I were growing up in Omaha, Nebraska in the 1980s, we were the only black kids at our school, let alone the only Haitian Americans. This was not a problem until it was. Sometimes the other students would ask my brothers and I why my parents talked funny, and we didn't really understand because the only thing we heard was the lilting cadence of their familiar voices. There was a period when my youngest brother's classmates would touch his hair because it was tightly curled, but he was light-skinned and they couldn't quite figure out what that meant. When my brother shared this with my mother, she called the school principal, who agreed to let her visit my brother's class. She brought our globe, spun it around to show the kids where Haiti was, and told them about our culture. She made plantain chips, which, of course, the children devoured. And after that, they stopped touching my brother's hair and understood a bit more about the world. Unfortunately, it's rare that someone has that opportunity and the grace to educate the ill-informed. That newfound understanding of Haitian culture did not last long. When I was in the 2nd or 3rd grade and HIV/AIDS began to ravage the gay community in the United States, a narrative emerged that Haiti was the origin of epidemics and a hotbed of disease, an island plagued. My brothers and I were classified by our peers as high risk by nature of our ethnicity. Kids would ask us if we had AIDS and if we were going to die. They worried that they were going to catch whatever diseases we were carrying by being overly proximal. It was childish ignorance fueled by something much more sinister, misinformation and bigotry that they were learning from adults. Throughout the years, there were other Haitian-related taunts about HBO, which is just too infantile to explain, and about the age-old tale of Haiti's extreme poverty and people eating mud cakes. The way people understood and weaponized Haitian identity was hurtful, and then it was annoying, and then we mostly became accustomed to the various stigmas, factoring it in as the cost of freedom. Little has changed between then and now. Every 5 years or so, there is some renewed effort to lodge ridiculous, deeply racist and xenophobic accusations against Haitian people. It feels disproportionate given that there are probably only around 16 million Haitians on the island and across the diaspora, but it's important to consider our history. In 1791, Haitians successfully rebelled against the French colonizers, sparking a resistance that would lead to the country being the first free black nation in the Western Hemisphere. In the ensuing 232 years and change, the rest of the world has seemed hell-bent on making Haiti pay for fear of global black liberation. There was the indemnity France demanded from Haiti to recognize its independence, one that required most of Haiti's wealth to go toward repaying the debt for 122 years. The island's poverty is not accidental. It can be traced directly to the reparations exacted by the French. So affronted were they that Haitians were not interested in being enslaved. In the United States, there was an immediate concern that enslaved people in the country might agitate for freedom too. President Thomas Jefferson suspended aid to Haiti, and the U.S. did not recognize Haiti's independence until 1862. In several states, enslavers did everything they could to keep enslaved people from learning about the Haitian Revolution. And here we are today. Since his political ascendancy, former and current President Donald Trump has engaged in racist dog whistling and flagrant bigotry with equal aplomb. Though he has demonstrated a general animosity toward people of color, especially Black and brown immigrants, he seems to harbor a particular disdain for Haiti. In 2018, when presented with a bipartisan immigration deal, he referred to Haiti and various African nations as shithole countries, and he said, "Why do we need more Haitians? Take them out." It makes you wonder, which Haitian woman hurt him? Who broke his heart so badly that he decided to take his rage and grief out on this small but mighty island? In the 2024 election cycle, Trump and his vice president, J.D. Vance, gave fuel to a new and particularly odious set of rumors about Haitians, this time centered on the small town of Springfield, Ohio, which has seen a significant wave of Haitian immigration in recent years. On several occasions, Vance said that Haitians were causing chaos all over Springfield, and that reports now show that people have had their pets abducted and eaten by people who shouldn't be in this country. Never mind the fact that Haitian immigrants he's talking about are in the United States legally, Vance's remarks were all predicated on a lie, one that was told and retold through an unreliable chain of friends, neighbors, and assorted acquaintances. Erica Lee, the woman who originally posted this grotesque tale on Facebook, alleging that Haitian immigrants were eating pets, has admitted that she heard the story from a neighbor, Kimberly. "I'm not sure I'm the most credible source because I don't actually know the person who lost a cat," she said. At the time, Vance's accusations went viral, and during Trump's presidential debate with Kamala Harris, he tripled down on these absurd claims, saying that Haitian people in Ohio were eating dogs and cats and other assorted pets. It was surreal to witness, the kind of moment where you ask yourself, did he really just say that? And as is often the case with the president, the answer is, oh yes, yes he did. In that debate, the moderators, to their credit, actively fact-checked Trump. They stated more than once that there have been no reports of pets being eaten by Haitians. Every credible news outlet also reported that this is simply not happening. Town officials in Springfield and in the state of Ohio more broadly repeatedly also stated that this was not happening. It was all a bizarre figment of the Republican political imagination, but people are willing to believe the implausible or at least lend credence to it. When asked about his mendacity at the time, Vance said, "If I have to create stories so that the American media actually pays attention to the suffering of the American people, then that's what I'm going to do." The suffering of Haitian people clearly was irrelevant to him. When confronted with the truth, he and his fellow Republicans continued to hem and haw about wanting more information about Springfield and other communities like it. And it's not just Republicans. Haitian voodoo is in fact real, the failed presidential candidate Marianne Williamson wrote on X in a post that was, of course, quickly deleted. And she went on to say that, and to dismiss the story out of hand rather than listening to the citizens of Springfield confirms in the minds of many voters the stereotype of Democrats as smug elite jerks who think they're too smart to listen to anyone outside of their own silo. Not only was Williamson inexplicably defending Trump and Vance and nonsense, she was saying with her whole chest that she wanted to hear out both sides, that a swarm of Haitians eating household pets was possible in her mind, and that it was somehow elitist to assume otherwise. This is what it means to live in the age of disinformation. The truth never ever matters as much as the lie, and once the lie grabs hold of the cultural imagination, the truth becomes almost irrelevant. The lie becomes a sick, implausible truth that people cling to almost desperately. This is all ridiculous to hear. It is even more ridiculous to have to speak of it, and it's ridiculous that these lies, which in another era would be disqualifying, propelled them directly into the White House for a second presidency. Politicians have always lied, but now they run for office and hold office while shrouding themselves in ludicrous conspiracy theories, and then they're celebrated for it. Even worse than politicians behaving badly, these lies about Haitians became a cultural punchline among people of every political persuasion. This is often how extreme conservative rhetoric works. Republicans soften the ground by making some outlandish or incendiary claims. They do it over and over until their narrative breaches the perimeter of their little enclaves and bleeds into the mainstream. The bad actors keep repeating these statements. They flood the zone. We hear them so frequently that they become part of our vernacular. We capitulate and treat the discursive dominance of the extreme right as an inevitability that we cannot resist, even though we absolutely can. And then we joke about red hats and making America great again, and fake news and tiki torches and seasoning pets. There's an endless parade of memes, which is further capitulation, letting Republicans know that you're fine with allowing them to dictate reality. You're letting them know that you too believe Haitians are acceptable targets for mockery. You're welcome to play by their rules. Anything can be fodder for humor. But this is not about having a sense of humor, it's about having a sense of decency. I can only imagine what this spectacle looked like to the rest of the world. Meanwhile, the Haitians in Springfield were and are trying to live their lives. Years ago, Springfield was a dying town with a declining population, as is the way in many cities in the Rust Belt. As part of a revitalization effort, the town courted new businesses, and as manufacturers opened up facilities there, they needed employees. Haitians, often by word of mouth, shared with other Haitians that this is where good work was and a good life. And so this is how most immigrant communities in the US form. We all come together because we know a cousin who went and decided the rest of us should come too. There's nothing conspiratorial about it. Springfield was a safe place where Haitians could go and raise their children, and even though it meant leaving the only place they had ever known, there was also the promise of some community, the simple pleasure of sometimes being in conversation with other people who share their same cultural vernacular. They wanted to find home, even if it meant having to wander far afield. And there is, of course, a reason that so many Haitians are wandering. In addition to the hurricanes, the earthquakes, and the cholera epidemic, there is the political strife. In 2021, then President Jovenel Moïse was assassinated in his own home. Since then, the country has been without an elected leader, and gangs have filled that void of power, particularly in the capital, Port-au-Prince, where the gangs are well armed and well organized. They control large swaths of the city, reject outside intervention into Haitian affairs, and want to be included in any negotiations about transitions of power and a return to democracy. The political class is not keen on this. People in power never want to share. The UN sent Kenyan police officers to Haiti to support the Haitian National Police in trying to bring a semblance of order to the capital. Their success or failure in that project is yet to be determined. There is a transitional presidential council, but there are no democratically elected officials in parliament. The council must try to restore order and revive the economy and chart a course toward a fair election. All the while, many Haitian people are desperate. They are starving, and few people outside of Haiti care. It's much easier to make jokes about mud cakes or to dance to a remix of Trump saying they're eating the cats, they're eating the dogs. Trump's campaign comments about Haitians and his Take Them Out line in 2018 were neither the first nor the last time that American leaders and agencies have endeavored to keep Haitians out of this country. In 2021, Border Patrol agents on horseback menaced Haitian asylum seekers across the southern border. There are countless images of the agents in all of their costumery, astride their massive horses, trying to corral Haitians carrying their belongings in plastic grocery bags across a river. 40 years earlier, as Haitians tried to escape the tyranny of the Duvalier dynasty, an autocratic dictatorship, then President Jimmy Carter, perhaps one of the most beloved US presidents, instituted the Haitian program. Haitian migrants were put in jails, denied work visas, and denied asylum claims. All the while, Cubans seeking asylum were warmly embraced as they walked onto American shores. 2 years after the Haitian program began, a federal judge struck it down because it was discriminatory. But Ronald Reagan learned from Carter's efforts and instead tried to intercept Haitian migrants as they crossed the ocean in order to circumvent American law. Not to be outdone, George H.W. Bush later took up Reagan's efforts, returning Haitian migrants to Haiti expeditiously. When protests about these brutal policies began and Bush refused to let Haitian migrants enter the country, he conveniently housed them at Guantanamo Bay, where the U.S. government detains terrorists and other undesirables, and right now is detaining more immigrants of all nationalities. The history of Haitian immigration to the U.S. is that of politicians and administrations on both sides of the aisle fighting to keep Haitians out of the country with equal cruelty. Only the names change. There is something bittersweet in being part of the diaspora in a proud and beautifully complex country like Haiti, to be born and raised in America, but to take fierce pride in where I come from. I know the country, I've been to the country, but I am not of the country, not in the way of the nearly 12 million people who currently live there. Most of what I know and learn is via the news with its various biases. The rest I get from friends and family members who are still in Haiti and who are trying to get through each day while everything is precarious. The elders are getting older without any of the infrastructure of more developed nations. The children are growing up not knowing what they should dream for themselves, or even if they should dream. Every day I live with the knowledge that the privileges I'm afforded are endowed by luck, that my parents are some of the lucky ones who were able to immigrate to the U.S. without interdiction, and then were able to carve out a good life for themselves and their children. As Haitians in Springfield and then across the country and now immigrants everywhere bear the intense scrutiny of the American government, hopes for a good life are dwindling. Trump has brought renewed and naked contempt for anyone who is not white and American and heterosexual and middle class. And he has legitimized this bigotry. He has forced immigrants to fear for their lives and for their children's lives. And meanwhile, Haitian ethnicity and Mexican ethnicity, Venezuelan ethnicity, Honduran ethnicity, all of these groups are being treated as synonymous with barbarism and criminality in the minds of people who are unwilling to believe anything else. This is the ambition of these narratives, as we bear witness to the rise of fascism, to bully and to intimidate, to make life here so unbearable that immigrants across the country will go back to where they came from. Trump has tapped into something that he is using to great effect. Who needs to build walls when memes will do the work for you? But there is a fly in the ointment. History has shown us that Haitians refuse to live with anyone's foot on our necks. And for better or worse, Haitians can endure absolutely anything. We and other immigrants aren't going anywhere. Thank you. Hi, Fido.
We are not going anywhere. Thank you so much for that reading. And we've told you that there's more. You have a special treat. We have our 2011 Langston Hughes Festival recipient, one of the medal recipients. And to introduce Dr. Edwidge Danticat, we have another Haitian representative here, one of our own CCNY alumnus and one of the new members of the Black Studies Department, Dr. Emmanuel Lachad.
I didn't know how much I needed that. So, good afternoon, everyone. Well, good night at this point, really. Bonsoir, tout le monde. It is our great honor to introduce a writer whose work not only has shaped contemporary literature, but has also given voice to histories, struggles, and dreams that demand to be heard across the African diaspora. Edwidge Danticat. Danticat is one of the most vital literary voices of our time. Born in Haiti and raised between Port-au-Prince and Brooklyn, or Brooklyn, as I say. She has dedicated her career to illuminating the lives of the migrant, of women, of the dispossessed, and of the diaspora. Writing in the generational traditions of Haitian literary titans such as Jacques Roman, Jacques-Stephen Alexis, Marie-V Chauvet, and René Philoctet, Danticat weaves stories of resilience, displacement, and love with poetic grace and profound humanity. It's through her novels, Breath Eyes, The Farming of Bones, Brother, I'm Dying, and so many others, that she bridges the past and the present, honoring those who came while inspiring those who will follow. It goes without saying that there is perhaps no one better to be in conversation with tonight's recipient than Danticat. Herself as you have heard, 2011 recipient of the Langston Hughes Medal, Danticat's work has earned her the National Poet Critics Circle Award, a MacArthur Genius Grant, and international acclaim. But beyond the accolades, which still remain very important, what makes Danticat's work and writing so powerful is its unwavering commitment to truth, to honoring memory, to speaking for those whose history has tried to be silenced, and to reminding us of the deep interconnectedness of our struggles and our triumphs. For all those who have ever wandered through the ashes in the wake of anguish, for all who have sung in a strange land, her words offer both witness and refuge. Please join us in welcoming the extraordinary Edwidge Danticat.
Mes amis got no introduction. That's Creole for like, wow, what an introduction. Thank you so much, and thank you all for coming, and hello, Roxane.
Hello, Edwidge.
Yes, I echo Fado, and Fado's my husband. I echo his words, Roxane for president.
Never, ever in life, ever.
We have to then say, president of what? So I want, well, congratulations on the medal.
Thank you.
And yes. And thank you for your wonderful reading. Like, we all really needed that, as Emmanuel said. But I want to start with these big giant words behind us. There's power in telling our stories, especially the stories that have been silenced or dismissed. And you gave us a sense of that in what you read to us. But I wonder if you could share a little bit more of how those words and that beautiful idea has played out in your life over your career.
Well, yes. That was a great introduction. It's an honor to be here with you. I think a lot about who gets to tell their stories and why. And oftentimes the stories we hear are those of people who have the most access to power. And that will wear on a person after a while. It tends to wear you down. It tends to make you believe, oh, perhaps they're right. Perhaps they're in power for a reason, and perhaps I'm oppressed for a reason. And whenever I think that way, whenever I see people thinking that way, it makes me profoundly sad, because everyone has stories worth telling, and oftentimes we talk ourselves out of the right to share our stories before anyone else has even tried to stop us. But I know, especially now, that we do have to tell our stories, that it does matter, that you may not see it in the immediate, but someone is going to be reached by your words. And I can't say that I always trusted that that was the case. I think I'm just stubborn. And, I grew up in the age of blogs I wouldn't say grew up, but I was a young adult in the age of blogs where you could go on LiveJournal and spill your guts to like 6 people and maybe 4 of them would comment and you would start a dialogue and you would know that someone else was out there. It was like a message in a bottle that would always reach a shore. And I had always been writing, and when I started to write nonfiction, I think I wouldn't use confidence, but the ability to do it because I had been blogging for so long. So I was like, I don't know that anyone's gonna read this, but I know I can write it out anyway. And as the years have gone by and more people have read my work, both older work and of course newer work, I've recognized that yes, eventually your writing does reach a shore, no matter what is going on. And I just always hope to impart that ethos to my students and to the other people that I work with. And I always try to remind myself, because I think right now many of us who write are wondering, what the hell do we say? And we're seeing a government that is actively trying to erase us from existence. And we are seeing a corporate class that is willing to capitulate to this. When you see Google renaming the Gulf of Mexico in real time, like we are watching this happen, and then removing Black History Month from their calendar before they've been asked. You have to wonder, like, how do we speak up now? But I know that not speaking up is not going to address any of the problems.
But what do we say, but maybe how do we begin to think about what to say?
Well, I think a lot of times, in the same way that we try to talk ourselves out of speaking up, we say, I have to get it perfect first. And we don't have time for perfect right now. Truly, everyone just has to say something. You have to let your elected officials know, you have to write your essays, you have to publish them in venues great and small so that they know that there is some resistance to this nonsense. That we are not simply going to all just capitulate just because the other billionaires are. We can afford to not capitulate, because what more could they possibly take from us? And so I am trying to believe that.
So when I won this medal, and Emily introduced me to it without notes, I was like, she said, it just comes out. And I was like sobbing like a baby. And all that was ringing in my mind too was Langston Hughes, I Wonder As I Wonder, where he writes about his trips to Haiti, and he was like, and he mentioned that he kind of bypassed like the upper classes. He had these letters of introductions, but he said, I wanted to hang out with the people without shoes. And so for me, that was like, I was sobbing on the stage with that story in my mind. Do you have a story of like when Langston Hughes, when you were introduced to Langston Hughes, or I know you started with about Haiti, but when did you come to know Langston Hughes?
I came to know Langston Hughes in my first year of my master's program when I took a seminar on the Harlem Renaissance. And I'm from Omaha, Nebraska, and I was raised by Haitian parents, so I was raised with Haitian literature and Haitian culture. I knew very little about Black American literature. And so this was one of my first exposures, and I was a sponge. I was obsessed. I was like, oh my God, there was a Renaissance here in the United States? Let me know everything about it. And then I was insufferable for about 5 years, just like randomly spewing facts about the Harlem Renaissance and the salons. And I thought it was just so glamorous. And just even now, every time I come to Harlem, I'm just like, I feel like I would have been fine here in 1925, yes. So that was my first exposure, and I was first, of course, exposed to his poetry, and his poetry is remarkable, and he had so much to say. And what was interesting about Langston Hughes is that he could have passed. He could have opted out of the Black struggle in many ways, and he was about it. And he always stayed true. And I thought that was particularly interesting when he went to Haiti, and he could have spent all of his time with the wealthy Haitians. And instead, he wanted to go and meet other Haitians who weren't going to be introduced to him by way of introduction letters, which is, at the time, how you got to meet the right people. Someone would vouch for you and give you a little letter that you could hand off so they could know that, okay, we're good people. You know, and that he didn't do that, and that he wanted to be with people who were not wealthy, who did not have privilege, who did not have access when he didn't have to. You know, the bar is low sometimes for decency, but still, I think we have to acknowledge it when we see it, and that has always also intrigued me about his work, especially because of the time when he went to Haiti in 1931, and he spent months there, and not a lot of artists do that, but a lot of Black artists, especially around that time, did go to Haiti and learned a lot, and it influenced their work.
Yeah, and he tells like this really funny story about when he's leaving Haiti, and then Jacques Romain, whose seminal novel he translated, Gouverneur de la Rosée, into Masters of the Dew, and he's running, and then he doesn't have his shirt on, and like these like Haitian like elite writers are trying to say hello to him, but he's like, I have to put my shirt on to meet them. But as you've had us giggling here, like in the middle of this very serious moments in the writing, people often talk about like the trauma in your work, but you're also so funny. So how do you balance both of those things?
Well, I tend to think of it, and I don't mean this in a cheesy way, as the spoonful of sugar to make the medicine go down. Like, we are surrounded by grim things, and we are surrounded by trauma, and we do need to talk about these things. We do need to read and learn about these things. We need to write about them. But how do you reach people if all you do is give them darkness? At some point, you're going to be overwhelmed. You're going to feel too much. And so I use humor as a way of balancing that, the same way that you add a bit of citrus to something fatty to cut through. It's really just about balance. And you know, my mom is incredibly funny, and she was the person who told me that a Haitian woman broke Trump's heart. And she, like, if you ask her, and she mentions this all the time, like, she is convinced. She was like, for Maïsia. And she was just like, you know, what? He just has never gotten over it. Marie-Ange really did a number. And, you know, so I get it from, I'm raised by a very funny mother, a very funny father. And, you know, whenever I hear these things, they are talking about serious things. And when I was growing up, whenever you put like 5 Haitians together, they're immediately trying to solve the island. And as children, we would just like literally wait for hours as my parents would talk to the other 5 Haitians in Omaha. And it was just like literally, do you guys want to go and run it today, or can we go home? And they would also laugh as they were talking about these serious things and the things that had driven them out of the country. And I always remember thinking they love their country, but they are crystal clear on the state of it, and humor helps them survive it. Yeah. And so that also informed how I bring humor into my writing.
Yeah, so I, like when I'm at family gatherings, and like, it's usually the men, like when they're all gathered, and then you walk in the room and the thing is still going, and then you walk back in and you're like, did you fix Haiti yet? And they're still working on it. So you do a lot of mentoring and giving back. Why is that so important? Why is that so important to you? That it seems almost as like part of your practice.
Because so many people have helped me. You know, no one's success is accidental, and it's never overnight, and there are always many hands that are pushing you forward. And I'm very mindful of that, and I'm very grateful for that, to know of all of the people that have done things great and small to put me in this chair today. And especially for Black women writers, for queer writers, for writers of color more broadly, publishing is corporate and indifferent oftentimes to really addressing the diversity issue, and now they have no incentive to do anything about it. And so I do think that those of us who make any kinds of inroads have the responsibility of making sure that we're not the only ones in the room. Like, if I'm the only one in the room, I am failing. Like, you can be the only one in the room the first time, but if you are in the second meeting and you are still the only one in the room, you have not done your job. People always think like it's an honor to be the first, to be the only. It's actually not, it's a failure. It's a failure of many, many systems. And so I'm just mindful of that. And I don't want to be the only one in any room. And there's plenty of room at the table, especially when it comes to literary attention. Now, like, there's not a lot of money at the table, but the table's big nonetheless. And so it's also the least I can do, and it costs me nothing.
And I'm going to ask you a question that you've asked me and other people. What do you love most about your work?
Everything. I think what I love most about my work is I do think I can write a beautiful sentence, and thank you. But I also love that I'm willing to put vulnerability on the page. And I then, of course, pretend no one's going to read it. But I am able to do that, and I do think that it elevates my work in certain contexts.
So this is the question before last, and my daughter Leela wanted me to ask. Do you have tickets to Cowboy Carter? And if so, how did you get them?
Oh my God. First of all, I can hook her up. And the answer is, I haven't gotten them yet, but I get them through, I'm rep by WME, and you can get artist tickets. And so that's how I'm going to get my tickets to Beyonce.
Get some for Leila.
I will, absolutely. And it's so funny because I was looking at the tickets last night with my wife, and I was like, the VIP tickets are $3,000 each. And she's the frugal one. And so I just felt a silence from her. And so I just closed Ticketmaster. I was like, that's too bad. No Cowboy Carter, but I'm going. Of course I'm going. I'm going to the first show in LA. I'm probably going to go to the show here, or maybe go to the show in Paris. No, I drink the Beyonce Kool-Aid. It's fine.
And this is the closer. You're a writer, you're an editor, you're a publisher, screenwriter, comic book writer, and you're writing a novel with Channing, I'm old, I can't even say the man's name, Channing Tatum. So what is next after all that?
I am writing a romance novel with Channing Tatum. And every time I say it, I'm just like, oh. Are you? One day I was in LA where I live half-time, and he came to my apartment to work on it with me, and he rode up on his motorcycle, parked it, strode off it, and the women in the front office of my apartment building almost passed out. And I was just like, yes, this is happening. We're going upstairs. So Hunger is going to be a movie, and it is probably coming out, I think, in July or August on Lifetime. And so there's that. I'm doing a final revision of the movie, because when you have a budget, turns out you can only shoot in so many locations. Oh my God, the secrets are the sausage. You don't want to know what that sausage is. And like, you have to cut down on characters, and we're shooting in Canada in the winter, so the summer camp scene is out. And so I'm doing some of those last minute revisions, and I am finishing up How to Be Heard, which is a book of writing advice. That will come out in 2026.
So we're looking forward to all that. Thank you, everybody. Roxane Gay.
Thank you, Edwidge. Edwidge, that was amazing to have you in conversation. I think, as Emily said, it was our first time doing it, and I appreciate you answering the call. Edwidge is also a former CLA, College Language Association, keynote speaker. I serve as the president of CLA, the oldest and largest organization of Black professors of languages and literature in America, and so it was awesome to see you again here. Thank you for coming back for us. Well, I think we have something special for you, Roxane. I think it might be time for that medal. I would like to welcome back Dr. LaShawn and the Black Studies Chief of Staff, Ms. Jody Ann Francis.
I don't think we have to spend too much time thinking anymore about how important this is and what it means, not only for us as a Black Studies department, not only for City College, not only for the factor of what it means to talk about these things that are silenced, but for 2025 and all the things that surround us that we've heard about today, right? We are presenting you Roxane Gay, and it's quite hefty. It feels real good. Right? With the medal, Langston Hughes Award. Now, maybe one of the most wonderful things is that there's actually a surprise today. That is included, and I will simply read it out, right? I was alerted about this not too long ago. All right. We are proud to acknowledge those individuals and organizations that are committed to improving our city and have enriched the community. And whereas the Langston Hughes Festival is an annual celebration honoring the legacy of eponymous poet laureate who spearheaded the Harlem Renaissance and remains an American literary icon to this day. And whereas, in addition to awarding the Langston Hughes Festival, the Langston Hughes Festival includes conferences and symposia in which distinguished scholars from across the world discuss Black literature and the arts. And whereas, in 2025, Langston Hughes medalist is Roxane Gay, a trailblazing writer and outspoken champion for justice, whose work spanning fiction, memoir, essays, op-eds, advice columns, and more have been an immeasurable impact on our culture. Whereas, for her contributions to writing, Dr. Gay has been recognized through the Penn Center USA Freedom to Write Award, the Guggenheim Fellowship, and the Lambda Literary Award. And whereas Dr. Gay has left an indelible mark on writing and cultural criticism, and we look forward to the work she shares with the world in the future. Now, therefore, I am not the I, Mark Levine, do hereby commend Roxane Gay for her contributions to the city and proclaim Thursday, February 13, 2025, Roxane Gay Appreciation Day in the Borough.
I'm gonna just take this everywhere. This is my new personality. I mean, wow. You know, when you write alone, generally in the middle of the night when everyone is asleep. Like, I need generally my wife and dog to just be asleep or quiet, but and you know, there can be no more emails and everything, and so you just never know that anyone's ever going to read what you write, ever. And for most of us, that remains the case for a very long time. And increasingly, that is not the case for me, and it has been the biggest surprise of my life and my career. And so to receive an honor like this in the company of so many astonishing minds is truly an incredible honor. So I want to thank Emily, I want to thank you, Gervette, I want to thank everyone on the committee for the Langston Hughes Festival for this honor. It does not go unnoticed, and it will be appreciated absolutely forever. So thank you very, very much.
To the end, folks. It's been a good night. I feel like Looney Tunes. We're almost, that's all, folks? But we're not there just yet. We have a couple more things for you. So I definitely want to say thank you, Roxane, for coming to receive the medal tonight. And Debbie, thank you for sharing her with us on Valentine's weekend. We appreciate you for doing that as well. Roxane's wife here with us, Debbie, as well. So thank you so much. So this year's Langston Hughes Festival is a bounty of celebrations. We've now hosted the Student Symposium earlier today. We told you about that. And we just, of course, had our medal ceremony. But we're not done yet. We have added one more day tomorrow, and like I told you, there is still time. So the first Langston Hughes Festival fundraising breakfast is tomorrow on Valentine's Day. So like I told you, if you're still scrambling, if you haven't figured it out yet, you still got time in that program to scan that QR code and buy a ticket, or scan the QR code out in the lobby for 11 a.m. tomorrow. It will be hosted by CCNY alumnus, MC, and actor from the Emmy Award-winning 30 Rock, Mr. Kevin Brown. So if we have any 30 Rock fans out there, he will be with us tomorrow, and he would love to see you. I can tell you that on behalf of him. He would love to see you. And why are we doing a fundraising breakfast? Why a breakfast? Well, one, as I told the committee, breakfast food is cheaper. But that is not the only reason. It is. There is a real reason why we're doing this as well. In 1925, a group of